Tweed Shire Council Disability Inclusive Emergency Planning Workshop, Bunjalung Country, Tweed Heads, 28 June 2023. A research project led by University of Sydney. Hosted by Tweed Shire Council. Facilitated by Chief Investigator, Associate Professor Michelle Villeneuve.
This study really is about asking the hard question, what do we do to keep people with disability at the center of the emergency planning process so they're active participants in the preparedness process, but at the same time, how do we support their rights to protection and safety when there are gaps that put them at risk? We need to do that on an individual level, but we also need to do it on a whole of community level.
Well, the Tweed Shire has a huge population of people with a lived disability, and also we have a very unaged population, and so we really need to look after those people. And I think today we're getting everybody together, looking at policy, planning for the future and planning for the next disaster. It's a very scary time for an able-bodied person, and certainly a person with a disability. It would be terrifying.
This workshop is particularly useful in terms of pulling together an entire gamut of people from both emergency services, the disability sector, and people who support the disability sector to look at how disaster response can be most effective.
I think the workshop's been great. It's been very informative so far. The fact that we can communicate with each other is wonderful. As someone with a disability, I always say, God bless me with a big mouth, and I know how to use it. A lot of people are embarrassed about their disability, they're isolated, they don't get their stories out there, they don't get heard. They're the people that I'm concerned about.
It was a lot, seeing Murwillumbah and the surrounding communities and what they had to go through, and then COVID. It's just a lot of stuff has come at us over the past couple of years. It's just really nice to chat with everybody and learn about them and their life experience.
The latest ABS census data tells us that there are over 17,000 people with disability in the Tweed. Many of those disabilities are not apparent and quite invisible. About 7,200 people need assistance in their daily lives. So today's workshop outcomes will help us learn how to deliver information in a better way.
So when I came today, I actually thought it might not be relevant to my space, but I actually saw so many opportunities for me to go back into my space, which is the early childhood approach, and to start educating children, because I think it's at that level that we need to start when we're thinking about disasters and helping one another and empathy and awareness.
People need to be aware that the emergency services won't be there instantaneously. There's not a fire truck for every house, there's not a flood boat for every person. So they really do have to know the risk in the particular area that they're living in and have a plan to counter that risk.
What I'll be taking back today is that we really do need to make sure that people are correctly connected with their informal community supports, because mainstream supports and services don't have the resources to assist everyone for a major emergency. It may just be, saying g'day on the street, or dropping in if they know there's a flood coming or a fire or shortage of groceries. The people in your community can actually provide the support that you need. They just need to know you need it.
Hopefully helping as many people as we can with all the info that comes out of today.
Go to collaboratingforinclusion.org as your first stop, because we make all the tools that we co-create with communities available to everyone there. So please look for it there. Watch a video, look at an infographic, read a case study. Whatever media is your sort of favorite option, including a few podcasts and other media on there. Go have a look. Go to your local government site, go to their dashboards, their emergency management page, their community engagement page, and look for the links there.
Everybody seems to have forgotten. People move into the area and can't believe there's been a flood. And those of us that were there remember what it was like and how quickly it can happen. So it's all about being prepared.
I hope the people that come here today will really not only understand but really feel that by being involved in this research, their voice will be heard at the local community level by their local government, at the state level by our state emergency management planners and our funder, the New South Wales government, but also at a national level. This is actually part of an Australian Research Council funded project that's happening in partnership across Australia with numerous emergency management agencies. And the Commonwealth Government is listening to the results of this project.
The Tweed Workshop is one of many taking place in local government areas across New South Wales and other jurisdictions. Findings will inform the development of a disability-inclusive disaster risk reduction framework for collaborative action. That framework will provide methods, tools and guidance for disability-inclusive emergency planning and practices that leave nobody behind. This workshop event was hosted by Tweed Shire Council in partnership with the University of Sydney and supported with funding from the Australian Research Council, New South Wales Government and the Northern Rivers Joint Organisation New South Wales Government.